There's a new album out. It's called A Dove. I don't know. Have you heard it?
I sure have.
Yeah.
Are you just starting on the road with it?
We're about 4 weeks into it. We've got another 4 weeks. So, basically we tour about 2 or 3 months out of the year in general. And this is our summer version of the tour.
And it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's been going great, actually.
How's the reaction to the new album?
It seems to be the people I've spoken to who have really listened to it. They break down into 2 categories. There's people who listen to it once. And there's people who've gotten a hit from it. You know what I mean? And I know, being a person myself, who it takes me a couple of listenings before something sinks in. I tend to value the feedback from the people who have listened to it a few times. And I would say that most people seem to really like it. And there's a lot on there. That's what I would advise people.
Well, there sure is, and of course the thing that sunk in for me right away was the Too Tough Hide song. Where did that one come from?
Well, I wrote that one. Most of the songs that I wrote on the album were pretty inspired, really, in the sense that they just came right through, and I pretty much wrote them right down, and there they were. There wasn't a lot of actually, they were all 4 of the ones I wrote were written that way. Time.
So good inspiration then?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of studying in the last couple of years. Music, I've been taking a lot of jazz theory courses and stuff like that, and I think the way it works for me is that I just go along and I study, the different scales, musical things and stuff, and then all of a sudden a song will come through. I don't really try to write songs. They sort of, I more or less just work on the music, practicing and, making up different exercises for myself to do in terms of composition. And then in terms of the songs, they usually come through, I find, when I have something to say, And with that one, I think I was just sort of reflecting on my own life in New York City, how it was feeling that day. I find that if I just kind of go along and play music all the time, it's kind of like tilling the soil, and occasionally a flower comes out. I don't really try to write songs because I don't find that works for me,
I do talk to people who spend, a certain number of hours a day trying to write music.
Mm-hmm. Well, I go through periods where I put myself on a discipline thing, but usually it's not trying to write music so much as, I do a lot of composition homework for the various different studies that I've taken on, in the last 2 years especially. So there's been I've done a lot of composition, but it's been more instrumental. But in terms of a song, though, sometimes I'll sit down and sort of try to focus on it, But for the particular ones on this album, all just kind of came up from behind,
What's the bottom line for you for keeping energized for music?
Well, I think that it's nice to have a cycle of, you go out on the road and you perform, and then you go home and you get through, you do your sort of being at home working on your tape recorders and instruments in your apartment, and then there's the studio end of the cycle. And usually, by the time you're finished on the road, you're sort of sick of that and you want to go home. And by the time you've been home and working in your apartment for a while, you kind of want to either go in the studio or go back out on the road. And so there's sort of it's a lifestyle. It's a nice way to relate to being alive.
You must meet stacks of different kinds of people on the road as you go.
Yeah, you really do. It's very social.
What's it like inside those harmonies that you guys make? Do you get any special feeling out of making those?
Oh, absolutely. I think music is a real spiritual thing. And I feel like we have a very interesting and unique connection among ourselves that has really sustained a lot of creative work over a long period of time, so it's got a richness about it. And I know, when we're standing on stage singing, a lot of times I just feel like it's got a real, almost otherworldly quality. It's a real privilege to be able to do it. It's funny, when I was a kid, we all went to the Catholic school for a while, and we were all in the choir, singing in the choir. And I remember getting this, goosebumps up your neck kind of feeling from, being in a section and hearing your whole section, singing, and then hearing the harmonies of the other sections. And I think it's kind of a thing you get hooked on.
So at the same time, you guys also infuse humor into the music. What place does that have for you?
Well, I think that's kind of an organic thing. Our family is, communicates among itself a lot with humor. Growing up and stuff, there was a lot of laughing and joking going on. And I think, I don't know, we're sort of Irish descent, and I've noticed that Irish people like to tell stories, like all my relatives. We have a big family, like lots of relatives, and they're all telling stories and, lots of sort of quips going back and forth. So it kind of really just the way we were raised, I guess.
Do you have a feel at all for who's sticking with you through all these years? I mean, there must be people out there who've been following you, well, since, the first album, of course.
Yeah.
I guess in New York you have people who go way back before that. But
yeah, well, it's been, our audience is really very, very special to us because they've, like you say, hung in there for many years and keep us going, really. They keep us in business by coming out to the shows. And I don't know in terms of who they are, but we really appreciate the fact that they're there, They're smart. That's what I would say about them.
They're smart?
Yeah, because they usually like to really listen and they kind of, really tune in and they like the subtlety. Because, I think what we do is kind of subtle, And I think the more people are open to subtlety, the more they're going to get out of it,
Was there any movement for you guys to, expand your audience, try and go any mainstream kind of way?
I don't think that's the sort of thing you try to do. It's always a desirable thing to expand your audience. It's kind of like if you had a store, you would want people to, you would want to expand the customers that came to your store because you want to stay in business. But I wouldn't say it's been any kind of pressure, you've got to expand your audience. I think you got to work from within, you got to, go inward and pull the creative thing out from inside and just hope that people can relate to it. And I think if you really stay true to yourself, creatively, that people will find out about it and be interested in it. That's what we found.
Well, often I feel that the quality in music is tied into exactly that the person is true to whatever they're feeling.
That's right. I think if you start to try to work from the outside, like to say to yourself, well, what do people want to hear? If you work from that, I think you're going to lose the thing about what you're doing that makes it unique and strong and special. I guess it's a matter of what interests you. That's always been the thing that's given us the big thrill. Like with this record. When I listen back to it, it's amazing to me because I kind of know where all of the songs came from and what they're about, and it's kind of amazing to me that they, there they are on a record and they're finished, and it really gives you a thrill, to be able to express yourself. It's a great job. It's a privilege to be able to do something creative.